Hey guys, it's Brett. I'm here with a HomeWorx haul. Yes, I have a HomeWorx haul. It's been forever since I've had a candle haul. So if you saw my last candle empties video, I said that I possibly thought of maybe not burning candles when we moved into our new home. But that didn't last. I ended up buying 2 of the HomeWorx blueberry cheesecake candles because so many people raved about that and I missed out on it when it came out the first time and then it sold out. So it never came back and it never came back. So it finally came back. So I'm like, I need to get this. And they had a sale on it. So I went ahead and got a set. And I burned that and that burned amazing. It burned amazing. The throw was amazing. I loved it. The burn was perfect. It had no puny wicks. The flames weren't too strong. I just kept on top of trimming them. I tried to light it no longer than like 3 to 4 hours at the time. And then I put it out. And then I would trim the wicks every time I would relight it, and it did fine. It burned strong flames all the way down the bottom. Didn't show the wick clips when it put itself out, but it was just a thin layer of wax on the bottom. The throw was really good. I had it out here in our open concept area, and we have high ceilings in our new house, vaulted ceilings, and it did really well. I never did put it in the bedroom, but I'm sure it would have done fine in the bedroom if it did well out here in the open concept with vaulted ceilings. So that did really well. So I thought, let me try some more HomeWorx candles because I'd had a little bit of issues with HomeWorx this spring. They had some that I'd ordered that were a little bit on the lighter side. I know a lot of people had some problems with the throw on HomeWorx in the spring, and some summer ones too as well. So I hadn't bought as many candles because of that. Plus I'm also, as you know if you watch our channel, Brad and I are Scentsy consultants now, so we're really busy with Scentsy, and I'm melting a lot of Scentsy now, so I haven't been burning as many candles. I'm no longer a HomeWorx ambassador because I just didn't have time to do that, plus be a Scentsy consultant, and because they would send us candles for free to review, and I just didn't want to have to do that and then worry about doing Scentsy at the same time. So I decided to step down from being a moderator in the Facebook group and being a ambassador, or influencer I guess is what they call it. That way I wouldn't have to worry about having to review the candles if I get them and everything. So I did purchase these myself on the HomeWorx.shop website. They had, I don't remember exactly what the sale was now because it seems like forever ago. It was, I think, towards the end of August that I ordered these. It wasn't that long ago, a couple weeks ago, but basically I pulled up my receipt. So basically I got 4 of them. So 2 ended up being 30 and then 2 ended up being 13. So that ends up being like $21.50 each is what I ended up paying for them. So that's a decent amount. If you get the candles around 21-ish is okay. Sometimes you can do a really good sale and get them down to like 18, 19, but that doesn't happen too often. Anyway, so I got 4 candles there. 3 of them are, is it the Bake Shop is what it's called, I think maybe? They're right up my alley. I mean, like I saw these, I'm like, they sound so good. I love bakery candles. That's my favorite fragrance category is bakery. So I kept putting these in my cart, and then I'm like, no, I don't need them. Then I would the next day look at them again, and I'd think, do I want to order? No, I'm not going to order. I did that like over and over. I'm like, I'm going to order, then no, I'm not going to order. Yeah, I'm going to order, no, I don't want to. So finally, the very last day of the sale, I'm like, the sale is going to be over in just a few hours, so I went ahead and just ordered them. I just hit the button, clicked it, and I ordered them. So I have 4 candles here. 3 are from that bake shop, and then one of them is one that's been out for a little bit longer than that, but it's still fairly new. And it sounded really good, so I wanted to try it. So let's go ahead and get started here. First up, we have Bourbon Pecan Pie. And look at that label. That label is incredible. I mean, that delicious piece of pecan pie has 2 pieces, one in the front and one in the back. I did not used to like pecan pie. For years, I did not like pecan pie, but I've just recently started liking pecan pie. Now I love it. Isn't it crazy how your taste buds change when you get older? I love pecan pie now. I didn't used to like it at all. So it has the lid here with the Harry Slatkin monogram, and it does have these new lids that everybody's been talking about. It's no longer the metal-like lids. It's like a plasticky type of lid. I don't know if it's exactly plastic, but it's like, it's kind of, you know, it's not the metal, the shiny metal. I actually don't mind them. The reason I don't mind them so much is because the other ones that were real shiny, got fingerprints really bad on them when you touched them. These don't do that. They're like a kind of like galvanized kind of metal, but not exactly. Bath & Body Works has the galvanized type of lids that are a little bit thicker than this. This kind of, people have showed that it kind of, if you push in it, it kind of does that a little bit. It's not as bad as I thought it was. I mean, yeah, it does go in a little bit, but it is a little more thin, light compared to the other ones. But I don't know, I don't really mind them so much. Probably because I like that it doesn't show fingerprints. It's not as shiny as the other ones were, and of course it does do that, but I don't know. I don't mind them so much. I can deal with them. At least I don't have to worry about the fingerprints that I was constantly wiping off all the time. Anyway, so Bourbon Pecan Pie is toasted pecans, aged bourbon, brown sugar, molasses, and flaky pie crust. This was really good. This is so good. It smells just like a pecan pie. I really get that pecan pie crust. The pie crust note. That is definitely in there. You really get that bakery pie crust note. And then I get the pecans. I do get, it's toasted pecans. I mean, yeah, I guess toasted, but you get that pecan note and that pie crust and the brown sugar molasses. Yeah, I can get that. I get that filling, the pie crust. You know, of course you have your nuts, and then you got that gooey, you know, filling in, the pecans are in, that kind of a, you know, it's the gooey kind of filling in there. You smell that. You totally smell that in there. The brown sugar, all that stuff that it's made with. Oh, yeah, it's really, really nice. The brown sugar molasses, flaky pie crust, toasted pecans. Aged bourbon. I don't get bourbon at all in here. I don't get any kind of bourbon or boozy note at all. I wouldn't necessarily mind it. There's a little hint of that in there. I wouldn't want like a lot in there, but maybe a hint of it would have been kind of nice. But I don't care that it doesn't have it, because it smells just like a pecan pie. And pecan pie typically doesn't have bourbon in it, so I mean, I'm fine with it not having that in there. So if you don't like boozy scents, I don't think you're gonna mind this, because there's not really in there. It's really good though. I'm really hoping when you burn it, that pie crust note really comes out, because I can smell it on cold and it smells really, really delicious. I was kind of afraid it was gonna smell maybe possibly like some of their candles with pecans have like that pumpkin pecan waffle from Bath & Body Works type of smell. He's had multiple ones that have smelled like that to me, and I was hoping it wasn't going to smell like that, and it doesn't. It doesn't smell like pumpkin pecan waffles at all to me. You get that pecan nutty note in there, but it's not like pumpkin pecan waffles smells. It smells like a pecan pie. It's really, really good. I really like that one. All right, next up, let's see. We'll go with this one. Harvest Donut. This is the one I was most excited about, because come on, look at that label, another label. I mean, who doesn't love a donut candle? And it's got the glaze on top of there. It's got cinnamon sticks in there, more donuts all around the back. And of course it has the same lid there. And these are all 4 wicks, by the way. I didn't show you the, did I show you the pecan pie? It's got like a little bit of a darker color there. This is a lighter brown. And Harvest Donut is fresh pumpkin, donut accord, ginger, and clove. Okay, this one's really good too. Oh, this is good. If you love baker scents, I think you're gonna be happy, because I really like it. Okay, first up, when I smell this, I'm gonna say it. It reminds me a little bit of pumpkin sugar donut from Bath & Body Works from back, God, what was it, 2014? That was out, everybody loved it, and it never came back since. Everybody's wanted to come back and hasn't came back. I get that a little bit in here. It's not spot on, 100% that, but it's got similarities to it. I haven't smelled that candle since 2014, so I'm just going off my scent memory, which has been 8 years ago. I really wish I would have another one. If I'd have known it would have been such a great candle and it wouldn't never come back, I would have bought more. But I just had that one I had, I burned through it, and it was gone. So I have to go just on my memory of what I remember it smelling like. But from what I remember, it's similar. I get the pumpkin in here, but it's not a lot of pumpkin. I feel like Pumpkin Sugar Donut had more pumpkin than this has, but I do get a little bit of that in there. There is a little bit of pumpkin in here. And I definitely get that donut accord. You definitely get that donut feel. Fresh pumpkin, yes. Not a lot, but there is some in here. Donut accord, I do definitely get that donut accord. It's not like cinnamon sugar donut. It's not that fried donut kind of smell. It's more of like a kind of like a baked donut. It's not necessarily like a fried greasy. The fried greasy smell. It's not like that, I don't think. But I do get that donut accord. It's really good. And then ginger clove. Yeah, you get the spices in there. Definitely get like spice. It's not heavy spice, but it is in there. It kind of is a little similar to hot cider donut. It's a little similar to that kind of, but I feel like that was like more spicy and cinnamony than this is. This is a little bit lighter on the spice than that was. But yeah, something about that little bit of pumpkin and those spices with that pumpkin are giving me pumpkin sugar donut feels. Kind of. Not exactly. Don't run out and get it because you're thinking it's going to smell exactly like that. I'm just saying it reminds me a little bit. I feel like this is probably the closest thing I've smelled to pumpkin sugar donut that I can remember anyway. Unless I'm forgetting something because it's been 8 years. But I think there's been so many candles over the years that kind of you thought maybe it might smell like pumpkin sugar donut. But this has got similarities. Yeah, it's really good. Not exactly like it, but it's like they were trying to go there, but didn't quite make it, but it's kind of got similarities to it. I really like it. So I'm excited to try that. Harvest Donut. And then next up for the 3 new ones in the, is it Bake Shop? Gingerbread Caramel Cookie. Got another delicious label. It's got the cookie all broke apart there. The inside of the cookie with the caramel in there. It's all the way around. Same lid. This has got same color wax. It's like almost like the Bourbon Pecan Pie. Just a little bit lighter, but not as light as the Harvest Donut. And Gingerbread Caramel Cookie reads gingerbread cookie, buttered caramel, mold, spices, and cinnamon sugar. So this has got gingerbread. It's nice. It's a little bit lighter, but the more I smell it, the more it's getting stronger. When I first smelled it, I thought it was really light, but the more I smell it, the more it's getting, I'm smelling it more for some reason, the more I keep smelling it. Definitely has the gingerbread. So, and I'm happy because I love gingerbread. It's got the gingerbread cookie, buttered caramel. You get a little bit of caramel in there. It's not super caramely. It's not like ooey gooey caramel. So if you don't like caramel scents, I think you'd be okay with this. It's not like too much caramel. It's just a light caramel in there. It's a nice light caramel with that gingerbread. Yeah, you definitely get the mulled spices. Yeah, the mulled spices and the cinnamon sugar. Those are in there. You get they're not super strong either. Like the caramel's not super ooey gooey heavy, and the mulled spices aren't super spicy. But they're in there, and they're really nice. With that gingerbread too. I feel like none of them are too strong. It's not too much caramel. It's not super heavy gingerbread. It's not super heavy molding spices, but they're really nicely blended together. It's really nice. So I'm excited to try that out. Hopefully it's stronger when burning because it's a little bit light on cold. I don't know, the more I smell it, the more I'm getting, it smells better the more I smell it. That's nice. So that's gingerbread caramel cookie. So that's it for the 3 Bake Shop, I think, is what they were. And then this one has been out for a month-ish, I think. Harvest Bake Shop. And then we have like pumpkins on there, apples, some kind of spices, I think, or is that cream? And then some nuts, cinnamon sticks, some more spices, almonds, pecans. Looks like some walnuts there, apples. The same lid. And this is like, same, these are all kind of the same-ish color. They're all this like brownish color, but some are lighter, some are darker. I think this is about the same as the Harvest Donut. Almost. So Harvest Bake Shop is creamy pumpkin, crushed gingerbread, sugared molasses, and whipped buttercream. So I think it feels like we have a mixture of all these candles I already smelled together in one candle. Ah, it's really good. Okay, so I get pumpkin and gingerbread, but I'm getting the nuttiness too. I didn't think I got that so much when I first smelled it, but the more I'm smelling it now, I'm smelling the nuttiness. Even though nuttiness isn't in there, it says creamy pumpkin, and I get the pumpkin, and crushed gingerbread. Yes, it's not as gingerbready as the gingerbread caramel is. Yeah, that's way gingerbready compared to this one. I say this is more pumpkin-y, and then a little bit of gingerbread underneath that. Sugared molasses, yes. Whipped buttercream. Yeah, you can kind of get that in there. Those spices are really good in there, though. Yeah, this is nice. And then I'm getting a touch of a nuttiness, even though it's not in the notes, but it does show nuts on the picture. So it is like, it says a Harvest Bake Shop. Like, you get the everything to be baking, and the sugar molasses, pumpkin, gingerbread, nutty nuts in there, the sugar molasses. There's all that kind of good stuff in there. I really like this. It's really good. I've heard this is even better when it's burning. So I've heard it's good. A lot of people like it, so I wanted to try it out because it's, when I heard this, I'm like, that sounds just like something I would love. So yeah, that is it for my HomeWorx haul. I had to try these out because they were calling my name. I love bakery scents, and the scents and the labels and everything just drew me in, and I had to give them a try. So I'll see how these are. Hopefully they throw as well as my blueberry cheesecake did, and better than the ones I had. And there's peanut back there. Better than the ones I had in the spring and then early summer, because those didn't do as well. And the burn, I also had problems with a lot of the burns too, because I had a lot of the floating wicks. Like, I would burn it and then the wick would just like, the wick would fall under the wax, and I'd have to pull it out of the wax. And if I didn't notice that, I'd put it out, it would be under the wax next time I go to relight it. So you need to make, I would have to make sure every time that I pull those wicks out of the wax, so it wasn't underneath the wax when I would go to relight it and be buried under the hard wax. And then sometimes I had a couple that actually came out, the wick came out of the wick clip and just floated around in there, and then I couldn't even burn it anymore because it was out, completely out of the wick clip. I couldn't straighten it up. It was just completely away, floated away. So like I said, the blueberry cheesecake had no problems with that at all. The wicks were fine. They stood up straight the whole time, nice high flame. So I'm hoping these do just as good as that one did. So we will see. So comment below if you purchased any of these. I know some people, I've heard in the Facebook group that they ordered, but they haven't received them yet. I just received mine yesterday. Today is Saturday. What's today? Saturday the 10th, September 10th. I just received mine yesterday, September 9th. So let me know if you've received them, and if you, what do you think of them? Do you like them? Do you not like them? Let me know. Alright, so thanks for watching, and we'll talk to y'all in our next video. Bye.